Today is May 29th.
Sure. Not even close. 22nd.
22nd. Really, is that?
Yeah.
It's tough. That screws up my days. Brought to you by High Noon Tequila. They got the tequila, High Noon Tequila. They got the vodka, real juice, real tequila, real vodka, real juice, real everything. Look for them at Drizly at your local convenience store or liquor store. Visit highnoonspirits.com to find it near you. The 4 tequilas, strawberry, lime, grapefruit, passion fruit. My brain, I just took Adderall. We're here for the dozen. I gotta I'm very tired. Very tired.
No, you've been catching a lot of L's.
Hughes train already?
No, I'm very tired. Yeah, I guess we can start there. The NBA. I was at the Celtics last night, the scorers table, one of the weirder seats you can possibly have for an event. I don't know. I know they sell scorers table tickets.
I was hoping so badly that there was some type of scorers table like
Malfunction
you do
or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm not on it. Like the when
No, I know.
There were a couple of reviews, and it's like I'm a seat over. You can hear everything going. But yeah, that game. As a Celtics fan, I don't really this whole series has been a little befuddling. But last night I didn't see that kind. They lost by 1,000.
That's got to be one of the worst games anybody's ever you've ever been to, right? I mean that.
Well, the only other one, Kevin, that I can possibly think that I was at 19-8 when the Yankees beat the Red Sox at Fenway to go up 3-0.
But they're not gonna race, you know what I mean?
You're not dead.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Oh,
I was at that game.
You're
I
really
was at that game. 19-8 game. Everyone's saying, "Woe is me." Fire this guy. This guy, run him out of town. The season's over.
It is. You know what? You're right, because that was such a beatdown in very.
Let me tell you this: at that point in the history, if you said, "Hey, there's one of these two teams is coming back," 100% would say
the Red Sox.
The Celtics. No, 100%.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah,
Celtics are more realistic. At that point, the Red Sox had never beaten the Yankees. They're down 3-0, 19-8. I was at that game. So,
but I would in baseball. I
never
know
had
really
happened.
Right, but you do have the starting pitcher can go out and just be a hero. The Celtics
like
feel
basketball, it's the same game,
right?
For the most part, every time.
It feels like the Celtics don't like each other. Like they quit.
I don't know what's going on because it seemed like they liked each other in Game 7 against Philly.
Yeah,
so they don't like each other, and I heard some inside intel. By the time, the time this comes out, who knows? Whatever. Take credit for it. Don't take credit for it. I'm a Miami guy. The team's in Miami. I called up my friend Dave Grutman. He runs Miami. I said I need a little team bonding dinner tonight for the Celtics in Miami. So I put that together. A little.
Eating dinner tonight.
You scheduled the Celtics dinner.
Yeah, a little team bonding.
Are you
event.
Paying for it?
No, I just got all the. Well, they'll probably get comped at the Celtics. Like Dave Grutman's a man of integrity and honor in business. It's the Celtics. But all I'm saying is if the chemistry looks a little bit better.
You're saying you started the championship DVD.
If it happens.
Chapter 10, and then Dave Portnoy.
If something changes.
A dinner reservation.
If something changes tomorrow, and people are like, what changed? Well, Dave set them up for a team bonding dinner in Miami.
Now, Dave, do you think you overlooked the Heat a little bit? Because you did say over and over, I'm worried about the finals. I'm worried about the finals. That will be tough.
Let me ask you this, Dan. Let me ask you this, Dan. I can already see, like, Kevin, you're a little shaded and dark and look miserable and like your Brady Bunch background there that you got per usual. Dan's coming off a big win. He's chipper. He's got.
I mean, Brooks, you tried to bash my guy.
Well, no, I'm glad you're building up Hitler. That's cool.
Like, okay.
Yeah, like he's a bad guy, but like he's a bad guy. We'll get to him.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I did with the Heat, but then and this is what brought me to it: the gambling. We've been, and I it's probably some of the Bucks. The line, the Vegas, the Celtics were plus 140 for the series going into Game 3. And
they were favorites in Game 3. at home in Miami.
I haven't even looked. What is game 4? I guess
know,
I thought the Heat would be -2.
But the fact that the Celtics were down 2-0
it was moving.
Going
It was
to
3.5,
Miami, and they were
4.5
point favorites. It's
I had
crazy.
them first quarter, second quarter, halftime game. I'm having ever since Mr. Ice, who by the way, RIP, shut it. I don't know if you saw, he shut it down.
Listen. I just want to say I had such a fun year with the Ice people. Absolute fantastic. We battled. We had some great streaks. We had some losing streaks, but we did really well. We had a fun year. Barstool was behind me the whole way. We finished, 30 plus games over 500. That's 2 years. I'm over 55 games over 500 with Barstool. So, totally psyched. And, the thing is, for me, I take pride in my picks. I do the research. And when I lose, it hurts me for days. So I just can't be in it when I'm losing like that. That's why I'm shutting it down for the rest of the season.
Mr. Ice is no longer.
I don't want
Shut it down
to
for the
say
season like a pitcher who has a dead arm going down.
I don't want to say you can't shut it down in the playoffs. Like Stephen Che's getting his teeth kicked in every night. He's gonna cry in his sauna.
You're talking about just stopping betting right now for the playoffs?
Yeah, he
more
shut
bets.
it down.
He shut it down.
He has this
He
long.
did, but are you talking about doing that?
No.
Elio did.
Mr. Ice gave picks all season, and he's up all season. He's lost like 5 in a row, and he was just like, I'm out.
He's giving me 8 straight losses.
That's like if the Celtics just decide, well, we're going to shut it down.
Honestly, Kevin, he gave a speech that was like, today,
He's Lou Gehrig.
I consider myself the luckiest. And my whole feed is just, thank you, Ice. Thank you, Ice. It's crazy. And he used the term shutting it down like 7 times. He's like, I just don't see the angles. But yeah,
you know who does that? I'm not going to. That's a Bosco move. When Bosco gets a lead and pick him, he's like, shut it down. Shut the whole system
I
down.
heard you banned him from doing inspirational morning tweets now.
I didn't ban him.
He said to me, Dave, shut that down. Dave, shut that down. I'm not allowed to send those anymore.
That's classic Rico.
Yeah.
Because Dave just said,
made fun of him just being like, you're the last person in the world who should be talking about this.
That's literally what I said.
That's all he said.
But I thought you went a step further and you're not allowed to.
No. Rico will bring that up in Pick'em this year. He'll be like, he'll say something like negative, and Dave will be like, why don't you be positive for a chance? He'll be like, remember when you told me I can't be positive ever again? That's what he'll say.
Yeah, I mean, he nobody wants to hear, and he can do it, but nobody wants to hear Bible passages from Rico Bosco after he tried to run Bonds' family over by a train, tried to kill Big T, and has done everything in between. I didn't think it was ready for him to be, a self-help coach quite yet. That was all. So yeah, the NBA, the Celtics.
All bullshit aside, you think the Celtics have a sweep in them right now? A comeback sweep? No.
Yeah.
That was a no.
I'm wearing it.
There's the smirk. It was so quick. That smirk was so quick.
You just had no in your mouth.
Yep. There was the smirk. He knows.
Maybe I got ahead.
Did you see?
I got ahead of scouting LeBron too quickly. I'll say that. And by the way, I think I may be crazy. I think the fucking Nuggets are gonna fucking kill if they play the Heat. I think they're gonna kill them.
So you aren't respecting the Heat. The Heat deserve respect. The Heat are fucking awesome right now.
I think the Nuggets are rolling no matter what at this point.
Don't say that to me, Dan. You know who needs respect? The entire NBA. Because honestly, the Heat, when you look at it, what?
I go on. I'm that was like a dog looking at like a garage door go.
Yeah, because I'm hearing rumors like, oh, Kyrie may go to Phoenix and give him $200 million and this and that. You got Kyrie goes here and Durant goes there and Joe Blow goes here and superstars don't want to play here and they don't want to play the full season and this and that. The Heat have 3 guys who were not fucking drafted on their team. Yeah. And they're winning because the NBA has gotten so soft with like, we got to cater to these pussy superstars and do whatever they say, or we won't get them and we can't win without them. And they destroy teams, and they're not good teams. And to the Heat's credit, they got Jimmy Butler, who's clearly alpha and doesn't take days off, and he doesn't even really, he talks in like a soft way. He doesn't complain to him. He just fucking shows up every
the Celtics were
day.
complaining so much.
Did you see the clip of Marcus Smart saying we beat you guys last year?
No.
He said there's a clip of him. He said we beat you guys last year. We're good. Stop talking trash. And Jimmy Butler turns around. He's like, "What?" He goes, "These guys are bummed."
That Grant Williams, I wasn't looking forward to seeing him at the scorers table either. Like that would have been.
That was an all-time on Friday night. Like, what are you doing, dude? He hit 1-3 and was like, "Yeah, I'm that guy."
And then you had people being like, "It's the coach, it's the other players." Like Grant Williams didn't play bad, but you can't have a role player go after the best player in the playoffs. It reminded me of when FedEx Freddie Mitchell was like going at Brady. It's like you just can't. You gotta like if Tatum or Brown, who has been. I don't know if he's been so bad. It's been
bad.
Yeah.
Shocking.
But Dave, one further, we literally saw this in these playoffs. Dylan Brooks going after LeBron and how that went. Like,
no, I agree. But Dylan Brooks, and by the way, Dylan Brooks, I actually like Grant Williams. That was an idiotic thing, and at least he's shown emotion. But Dylan Brooks is a starter. Like Grant Williams barely played in the playoffs. And then on the other side, the Nuggets took care of business.
That's what hurts you.
Well, no. I know the Celtics
hurt you, but if it was 2-1 or 2-1 either way for the Celtics right now,
can't be celebrating
you would be all on Bron's ass. You
because not only are they losing, but LeBron's like he's looking like he's in his 20th season.
I know. I was getting back into I was getting back into my LeBron mode, which I haven't been in. Like I was
excited. When you were like a pitcher getting stretched out in like AAA. You're like, I gotta throw some innings here. Like I should be asleep, but I gotta get my hate up.
I called him out for assault on the official. Like people who hadn't seen me be on LeBron. Like, what's he talking about? And also, let me say this: I hated LeBron before people knew Skip Bayless existed. I was like free Skip Bayless hating, and then I kind of went away because the Celtics sort of got bad and the rivalry went away, and I kind of stopped. I've done a lot. It just
was it the decision for you? Like, did you hate him?
Well, no, I really hated him on the decision, but I hated him prior to that. Like the Celtics in Cleveland were playing, and then the Heat and the Celtics. Like people got to remember,
like when he was like first drafted, like 07, 08, 09.
No, I didn't hate him then.
Okay, yeah.
The decision put it over. But people in Celtics fans will say this. You got to remember that it's still one of my favorite teams. You don't find it in pro sports almost ever. Rondo, Garnett, Pierce, and for a time Allen hated LeBron as much as I did. Like they fucking hated. That's why they hated Allen, because he went to the Heat. Like there was true hatred, not just for the fans, but the players. I love that team. And that's where it all stemmed from, because we were playing them every fucking year in the East. And he was at the height of being an idiot.
Joakim Noah was the same. Joakim Noah hated LeBron as much as I hated LeBron when the Bulls were. The Bulls were
at the All-Star game. Like,
he hated him. That was the same thing. The Bulls they went to Eastern Conference Final against the Heat and got beat pretty easily, and then they played the Cavs a couple times. But when your players hate a guy as much as you do, it's awesome.
You're right, and so that's what sparked it. And then I continued it, but once he won, I started running out of things to root against him for. It kind of dissipated until this. So, yeah,
it's really the world's missing,
man. I mean, they're just 29, 22, 16, 10, 22, 18. Like they just all put up double digits, all play well. It's Spoelstra and Pat Riley are just fucking.
No, there's definitely that, but there's also definitely like the Heat were hit every shot, and the Celtics were missing shot. They were covered. Oh, they just sucked. Like there were shots that you can't blame guys missing wide open shots on the coach.
That's what I was saying, Dave.
From somewhat of an inside source who was, I think, a trainer down in Miami, saying that they like didn't get along all season. The Heat like were at each other's necks, and that's why they're the 8th seed. But then when they snuck in, that they kind of had a moment of like, wait a minute, let's just fucking like get this done together. And ever since have been like the most cohesive team, getting along. Everybody's like all with each other. And I mean, it's like the exact opposite of what's happening with the Celtics. It shows.
Yeah. I mean, that's like Joe Mazzulla is getting a lot of shit, rightfully so. He's been out coached, but the players have been bad.
Awful. Like
you gotta say
you don't lose by that margin. Like just awful. Like everybody sucked. Like Horford looks like he's 100. Tatum can't dribble. Brown can't dribble. They can't shoot when they're open. It's everything. There's nobody who's been good. You don't lose like how they're losing. It just makes no sense because on paper, the team minus the coach is better than last year because Brogdon's a pretty big addition. It just makes,
do you think, I feel like Tatum, like with Philly, he bounced back after such a bad performance and had, an all-time game, but he kind of has like a stinker in him, like per series where it's like a disappearing act.
Everybody's been gone. I mean, he had 30.
Like if you're going to, people put him in like top 5 type.
I don't know. It's shocking.
You can't have a disappearing act this regularly in the postseason.
Listen, let me tell you, I once was at a Red Sox Yankees game, 19-8, down 3-0.
Okay.
Couldn't have felt worse. Couldn't have been more over. So who knows? Well, this team, can they win 4 in a row? I think they can. It's tough though to be in the building in an opposing building in that situation, just getting your face kicked in. All right,
yeah,
on to your guy.
Chirped on the way out.
Yeah,
that was
tough. Brooks Koepka wins the major. I'll say this. First
great
of all,
bet.
I'm the first. What?
Oh, they're gonna say great bet, Dan.
It is a great bet. And
thank
respect to you, I didn't go after him because I knew how much money you had on the line.
I appreciate that. You texted me in the morning. You're like, what do you have on it? And I knew that question was a loaded question. I finished 40th yesterday. So I had the same money as the 40th guy in the PGA Championship.
That's crazy.
Feels good.
Yeah, you're bright and chipper. I honestly haven't won anything since Elio in the Derby. It's been a disaster. Now let's just, again, I'm not in the credit game. I'm the first one that declared Brooks Koepka a great golfer. You can go read the history books on it. I wrote it when everybody's like, no one was talking about it. It was actually an anti-Tiger Woods stance, his article, because everyone was talking Tiger. I'm like, Brooks Koepka's won like 4 majors, the best golfer on the planet. Nobody gives him any due. Having said that, I don't like the guy. I don't like how this company props him up and makes him seem like a good guy when he's not a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Why do you think he's such a bad guy? Is there other stories I don't know?
He didn't. I wish he had played against Dave.
It's not about me, Kevin.
Oh, okay.
It's the little guys. It's like the tech guys who are setting up the course.
Right.
Little guys.
It is. And he didn't have the dignity to send a text to anybody. He got hurt. Legit excuse. He got hurt. Texted me. He's like, sorry, we'll get it going again. And then he played the scientist guy before anyone knew what was happening. I've hated him ever since. So good for him. He's a great golfer.
Great win.
He's a great golfer. Those odds were crazy.
20 yeah, I mean, he won't be like that ever again. I mean, he finished second in the Masters, and I had him in the Masters as well, like
that's
35.
Crazy that he was after the Masters performance.
Yeah,
Victor Hovland guy's soft. I knew he wasn't going to be able to do anything.
He's as close to. He's not Tiger. Golf fans don't get upset about that, but he's as close to big majors, big moments. He's always.
And you
there.
like him, Dan? You think he's like a jolly guy?
He won me like a new car yesterday.
I went on a double date with him, Kevin. He couldn't carry the conversation. He just absolutely was a wet blanket.
I believe the charisma of an ant label.
I think he's a great guy. I think he's got a lot of charisma.
The week before he won his first major.
Right.
And I didn't know who he was. And when wrestling, you tag a guy in. I was carrying this conversation. I'd look over, just give me a breather here.
Anything.
Nothing. He was a wet blanket. Nothing.
5-time champion, Dave.
He's a great golfer.
Even better.
A lot of great athletes, scientists, whatever, not great people.
He's a great person.
I heard he said we did see each other at a Heat game, and he did come up and apologize.
Yeah, he said that. He said he talked to you.
Yeah, and I was like, you're a scumbag.
Well, once you're on the wrong side, there's no point in even trying because you're going to just hold the grudge forever. So he should just
fun to root against people too.
Yeah, but that sucked for you because I knew you were rooting against him and you had a couple tweets ready to go, but he just is nails.
Nate Dogg like broke his foot.
Yeah.
He like exploded his foot.
You know, and you want to talk about in the soft Dave era of niceness, we're in it right now because the first video I saw when his face came on, I was like, whoa, which I always do when he holds the camera so quick. I didn't say a word.
Well, credit to
Nate Dogg. I mean, he's got to compete in the World Series of Poker.
Is he? I thought he withdrew.
I don't know. I just invested $3,000 in him.
He said he was like, I think he was planning on spending like the summer in Vegas. And he's like, those plans are ruined. Said it's the worst thing that's ever happened to him. I get it though. That shit sucks.
He just stepped out of a car.
He said it was like an Uber XL. So it was like, a little bit higher. You're supposed to, I guess, step on the step first. And
he honestly,
the doctor said, he said he's out 9 to 12 months. And that the doctor said this is a season ending injury for like athletes. If this were to happen to them, their season would be over. So it's the 2024 season is a wash for Nate.
I know it can't be true, but I could easily see the bad guy in like Unbreakable being based on Nate. Like, doesn't he seem like yeah, like made a glass supervillain, like just sitting around plotting, like
just had like foot.
And that guy, I think, and I think that guy, the supervillain, like thought he was in the right, like he thought he was doing good for the world by showing the world right. That would be Nate. Like if you're like Nate had to kill people to show his vision of the world, so be it.
What breaking your foot right before the summer.
Horrible.
Unreal. Unreal.
He came on KFC radio and told you hear the story about him getting cucked in Chicago?
Yeah, the burrito or something.
That was tough. Yeah, she even took the food that he ordered. She took that with her to go to the other guy's place.
Oh,
tough scene.
Start drinking and a guy just walks into the apartment. I was like, I texted John. I was like, I think she just invited over her boyfriend.
Nate Dogg. Great concert, though. He kept on saying that. Best concert ever.
Blink with her was an all-time moment for him, so he has that at least.
Speaking of concerts, I just want to give a quick shout out to my quarterback. Twice at Taylor Swift at Gillette, all dressed in the Taylor. I feel very good about that. I'm going to Taylor. Frankie invited me Friday. We're going at MetLife. I think Keegs and Fran not sitting with us, but they're going to. I'm pretty excited for that.
That's sick.
Yeah. He had like
that was the other Elio when he was just doing a loss video and he was just like loss, can't believe I lost. And at the end, he's just like going to Taylor Swift tomorrow. It's like
he had to shut it down. I do have a question on this guy who's been in the news, Michael Block, the guy who got the hole in one. I did quick research. Why is everyone so enamored with this?
I'm surprised you're not all over this. This guy's turned pretty insufferable pretty quick, as I understand it. He's a Minahan, so
Kirk hated him right away.
I've read up on it, and I'm definitely, if I had to be like Dave, which way you're leaning, it's insufferable. I don't understand, just because I don't. Everyone's like, I keep seeing everyone's heard the story a million times. What is story? And I can't find the story. What is the story?
He's a golf pro who played in a tournament, like 20. I think it was like 20 of them got like an exemption or whatever, like got a spot in the tournament, and he finished like 15th. I think at one point he was like top 10. But
he's a course pro, Dave. He's a course pro in a golf club in California. He's not
I saw like the video of them like reacting to the hole in one. It was a very golf reaction. I watched that video and it reminded me of Riggs in the sense of like they're blowing everything out of proportion.
Yeah, well, I think he is too, though. Apparently, he's like tearing up at every interview.
Oh, he cried so much. He cried so much,
and I guess like he was like, he found out he was playing with Rory, and he was like, "Is that true?" Like, "Oh my god!" And it was like, "Yeah, it's true. You're fucking 8th right now. Like, you're in the hunt here. Like everything has been either crying or so surprised, and it's amazing."
I mean, I could see the crying. It's like that minor leaguer from the fucking Pirates who came up and like. But
I think he's like one tournament. Like, I don't think He's not
won
like a rags to riches sort of thing. Like he's
not like a real pro. They did kind of shove him down our throats. The hole-in-one was cool. I did appreciate that he said he had the presence of mind to be like, my life is peaked right now. Like, this is it. He was like, this is it. This is it. This is the peak. Like, to know that you're in the peak. But he was crying a lot. He cried a lot. I saw him cry a lot.
Like, to be honest, outside of being on the tour or pro athlete, if you ask guys, like, what's your dream job? Club pro is probably like on the top 10. You're not going to feel bad.
I'd rather be a club pro than like the worst actual golfer in the world.
Yeah, club pro is a hard, great job to get.
He said he went through his schedule and it sounded like the best schedule ever. He was like, I go to the course, I do a little paperwork, I teach lessons, I do a little more paperwork, teach more lessons. Then my entire family comes and I coach my sons at 4:00 every day. My whole family comes to the course. Like, oh, that sounds awesome.
Like, and you're the big, when you're the club pro, you're like the big swinging dick at the club. Like, so that is what I was against. Like, what is I wasn't sure. Like, sometimes you can talk, even you want to talk like Kurt Warner, like bagging groceries. Like, he wasn't doing that. And he's just,
I thought he was like,
I think a Shishi golf club.
I thought it was like we picked like a dying nobody off the streets who has cancer or something.
You want to talk about a story? If my guy Jim Renner qualifies for the U.S. Open, now that's a story. That guy's no club pro. That guy, I don't know what he's doing when he's not doing this, but he's in Plainville, probably sweeping the streets out. If he qualifies, I think he plays today or tomorrow. We talked after I tweeted because he made it to the one before the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny Woodhead made it to that too. Like, that would be a great story.
If Renner is in the U.S. Open, I'm going to break out the Renner's Army, and I will follow. That's like the most fun I had. I love that guy. So if he gets it, now that's a story. That's it. I was kind of late to him. Is there anything else big? NHL playoffs?
Well, people are saying that you've brought your winning ways to Florida.
Yeah. Unknowingly.
The Panthers 2 games away from the Stanley Cup. The Heat 1 game away from the NBA Finals. Brooks Koepka, Florida.
Yeah, he's probably mad he wasn't at the Heat. He's a season ticket holder. I actually was with Kachuk's dad, the like watching the game directly next to him. When the Bruins went up 3-1, he's like, "I'll see you back here." I was like, "Your season's done." That's the last thing I said to him and walked out. So. Yeah.
Is there anything to be said for that? That it's wherever
I have
Portnoy lives.
DNA, and sometimes it just goes places that you can't control it.
Do you maybe want to can you put in like a message for this Celtics dinner? Maybe when they show up, have like rally the troops a little bit,
Yeah, I don't know that I can. I just put the dinner together. I don't know, I have a little video like,
by the way, Dave Portnoy says,
tapped me up right before the game. I'm like, oh, we're gonna win this. I like I said, I was afraid to make eye contact with Grant Williams because I fucking ripped him. I don't know that Jaylen Brown likes me. I assume he doesn't.
I feel like Jaylen Brown wants out, right? Like, underneath it all, it sounds like he's not happy.
He's a complicated individual.
Yeah.
That I like him. He's very.
He doesn't like Tatum.
What?
I think it's pointing in the direction of Tatum is like.
It's interesting because you have Tatum, who has very publicly recently been like, I love Boston. Like, I love the fans. Brown on the outside, I don't want to go too into it, but I think anyone who knows him, and I think he's intelligent for the most part, but he's definitely speaks on social issues. And if you think Boston's a racist city, that's not where I don't believe that's the case. But there's certainly an aura of that, whether there's truth to it. But he's like this. I think I feel like,
I think Jaylen Brown looks up to Kyrie as a thinker.
Yeah.
Yes,
which
like he was quick to retweet.
Actually smart. Like, if you look up to Kyrie, you're dumb too. And it sounds like Jaylen Brown is like,
I thought
that's insane.
I've thought Jaylen Brown is far more intelligent to me than Kyrie for the most part. I think he's far more thoughtful in what he says, but he will retweet the Kyrie shit and then he'll apologize. But so I don't know. You never know how people view that. Boston certainly has a reputation as like a racist city. I don't think that's true anymore, any more than any other city. But if that's how Jaylen Brown views it, I could see him being like, I don't want to be here. I have no idea. I don't know what the dynamics of this is just guessing because something is wrong. Something is wrong. So
I feel like it's going to be a lot like the Tatum became the superstar. He brings his kid around all the time. And I think Jaylen Brown.
But listen, that quote, like I forget what game when Brown was like, I guess I'll just have to demand the ball. I mean, he sucked. And to me, when I watch him in warmups and through, I would not notice anything.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't like Brown was after they beat the Sixers, like the crowd was great in Boston. I was such a great environment. So it could be in the heads of people just trying to pick for shit. Who knows? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But listen, 19-8, I was there.
Celtics in 7. You got the shirt.
More plans?
This is crazy how fast I burn through these shirts.
Do you have 8 and 9?
No, I was gonna maybe do Celtics in 2024.
No, you got to do 8. You got to do 8.
I don't have it. This spiraled so goddamn quick. It wasn't supposed to go this quick.
Yeah, I know. It's been like 4 days and you've already got the Celtics in 7.
So, all right. That's the rundown.
Later.